Hi everyone, it's me, Matt from Diazable again with a new review of Inclination, Unaltered Perspective. We're going to talk about this hardcore band from Louisville, Kentucky. They just dropped their first debut album last October, and I'm here to review it and have some fun. Yeah, let's get into it. Very good album. It's strong overall, and if you like hardcore, you're going to love this album. It's pretty straightforward and everything, pretty dope and everything. If you're not into hardcore, this might be a bit of a harsh album for you to get into if you never heard this stuff, but give it a try, give it a listen to. Maybe you'll find a track you like. Was not expecting an acoustic track to open up this album. I will say the soft vocals, I see what they were trying to do with that approach, but for some reason, the person doing the vocals, I don't know if it was Tyler, the main vocalist, or somebody else, no shade, but it felt a little empty and hollow. But I see what you guys were trying to do. I see what they were trying to do, and I Epidemic, straight into it, fast, pissed off track. The band sounds really tight on this one. Like you can tell they've been playing for a while together. Lots of good two steps. If you're a big two stepper, hardcore two stepper, lots of two steps parts in this song. Tyler sounds really great. The breakdown at the end is chunky. It is chunky, like chunky monkey ice cream chunky. Track Thoughts and Prayers. I think it was their first single for this album. The beginning is like an anthem to be like, get ready to throw down the pit. It gets you ready. Guitars are crisp, drums are snappy, bass is groovy. Isaac's backing vocals always sounding large, in charge, and just monstrous, like devastating. I think one line really summarizes how like this song's about like clearly politics and politicians, and this line really summarizes, I think, what a lot of people feel. You feel a sense of perverted justice that the lower classes somehow deserve this, and it just summarizes, I think, a lot of people's feelings about overall things with politics and stuff because people treating people like pieces of shit and it sucks. And double basses kick, yes. Or predetermined. The last track, Thoughts and Prayers, just smoothly transitions into this song. You wouldn't even notice it. It's a slower, menacing track. I think it's gonna get pretty dark, like with this track in this album, maybe. But I will say the lyrics, they seem a little bit basic in terms of like there's no like wordplay or other words of interpretation, just very straightforward. Not a bad thing. Um, it just maybe I'm used to other genres where there's a little bit of wordplay and they're not as straightforward and you have to think about it, but they're just going straight for it. But nothing wrong with that. Respect the emotions on the song. What they're talking about is a deep, deep, like emotional track. Um, yeah, really fucked up shit. So we have bystanders. The guitars to me sound very drowning, like just like murky and deep, like in a dark way. Very seedy and like it's gonna get you fucked in the head. For some reason, I think Tyler sounds like Carl from Earth Crisis on this song. Check me if I'm wrong or if I'm being weird, but it sounds like Earth Crisis a little bit. His vocals, lyrics, and wordplay are a lot stronger on this album, on this track. And breakdown sounds a bit generic, but the guitars, little guitar licks here and there make it more interesting. But the second breakdown, damn, shit goes hard. Opinion of this track of Without a Word, it reminds me of like a snake slithering up to an unexpected animal ready to like just pounce and like this animal's about to meet its doom. Once it starts, it already feels like we've been eaten by that snake and we're just being slowly digested into this animal and we're about to meet our impending doom. Lyrics aren't bad, super direct. The wordplay simple. The song at times later does feel, but drums sound very tight, snappy. The guitar licks very nice. There's no question that the instruments are being very utilized on this album very well. Next, we have Marooned, which really like summarizes the song. Like in the first 30 seconds, you feel like you're marooned and just lost with the eerie guitars and the slowly drummed up drums. They bring the heat on this one. Tyler's lyrics, again, now really strong. Good two-step in the middle of the song. It's a big anthem song. And I thought they were gonna have a breakdown at the end of the song, but it kind of just phases out. Not bad. We have connections. Drums sound so tight and groovy on here. The drums and guitars are just complementing each other very well. while Tyler is just screaming out, I guess the chorus or whatever that part where he's just saying fears of rejection. Mwah, nice. Just feels like I'm just getting beat in the face with 1,000 fists. The guitar, the ding 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 ding. I might be doing it wrong, but the guitar sounds really good. And Isaac's backing vocals. Woo, boy. And hardest breakdown of the album for sure, hands down. Track 9, segue, simple interlude, no ifs, ands, or buts about, right to the point, gets you to calm down a little bit before the finishing of the album. A decision before they had the song segue, and then they're just going straight fast right off the bat with this song, fast two-step. They're not playing. Guitars sound large and in charge and echoey. The clean vocals might have just turned this song around for me. Like prior to that, I was like, okay, it's a pretty generic hardcore song, but the clean vocals was not expecting that. So I was like, what? And pulling on these emotions in here, making me feel sad. Um, and I think, yeah, right in the straight edge feels good. And I think they got a feature from Connor from Magnitude. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Uh, this track is probably the most unique and diverse track they have on this album, and it's an absolute banger because it is a straight edge anthem, and me, straight edge, always gonna love straight edge anthems. Song is committed to self. This is the only track where I feel like it sounds a bit repetitive, fast, slow, goes back and forth. The beginning of the song, no hate or anything, very generic kind of hardcore sound and song. I honestly think if they had just cut that part off and just did a slow build, it personally would have been just a more phenomenal track because the soft build up of the song, oof, it's nice. The second half is great. So, and I love how it fades at the end. So if they had just cut off the beginning, this track would have been definitely more of a personal favorite for me, for sure. Overall, yeah, it's a strong, fast-paced, crushing 30 minutes of good hardcore. It's very straightforward. Like I said earlier, straightforward hardcore album. Can't go wrong with it. If you love hardcore, you're gonna love this album. Um, but I think because of Isaac's talents being in Knock Loose and other bands, he adds a lot of flares and razzle dazzle with his guitar plays and stuff. So the album doesn't seem too boring, and the other band members seem to really help complement each other and help him and Tyler in terms of bringing something new and different to hardcore music. So I really appreciate that. Um, and Tyler's vocals sound pissed and good. Isaac's backing vocals, I think people might want him to be in a band, but I think he's best as a backing vocal, just coming in, just swooping in like, woof, I'm here, and then out, and just waking everyone up. Feel like they're doing a lot of introspective looking on this album, lots of dealings with loss, talking about straight edge, of course, and just trying to sounds like be a better person in this world that's really tough right now because it's tough out here these days. The second half of this album, much stronger than the first half, my personal opinion. Uh, More bangers than duds on this album. It's a great album, one of the great hardcore albums from last year. And I personally want to give this album a nice, let's say, solid 8.5 out of 10. Yeah. So that is my review of Inclination, Unaltered Perspective. Really great album. Check them out. Support local bands. Support your local music scene. And also, don't forget to support your local man here, Mr. Matthew Gamble at Diazable Apparel. Woo! Till next time, guys. Yeah!